The Sizz method, let's talk about it. I recently published this blog post explaining my process to building community and traffic for a niche site or authority site, any content-based website without backlinks. And I've gotten a lot of awesome feedback and a lot of great thanks and kudos for publishing it, my strategy on using paid ads. And I published this in the midst of writing a bunch of other content about niche sites that will stand the test of time, because I see a lot of websites out there for sale that will not stand the test of time. Like, there's just no way of them lasting, right? They're listed for sale. And here's the one that I published on it. Buying a website listed by a broker, no exception to caveat emptor, buyer beware. And that's because I see a lot of websites out there that are for sale, niche sites, authority sites, whatever the hell you want to call them, that are not going to last. And I used one example. Let's see if it was here. Nope, it wasn't in this post. Maybe this post I covered it. Yeah. So in this post, in this image right here, what I'm showing is the traffic data from a website that was for sale. And boom, traffic dropped within a year, right? By over 75%. If the revenue is dependent on internet traffic, organic traffic, this thing just had a 75% drop in revenue. So somebody paid for a site that was making $10,000 a month, and less than a year later, it's through no fault of their own, making $2,500 a month. It would suck to buy a site like this, but there are a lot of websites like these for sale, including the one that I talk about here, where brokers are selling them. And the Sizz method is my method of building sites that don't have that risk, right? And that risk typically comes from backlinks. A lot of these sites, they get kind of juiced up by backlinks real quickly, low quality backlinks. They start pulling in a bunch of traffic, and ultimately, Google, that all catches up to them. The algorithm catches up to them. Google whacks them. They lose the traffic, like what happened here. My goal is to build a website that will stand the test of time and ultimately not crumble like that. And I want to do that through community that ultimately builds traffic. And I say without backlinks, and that's because I've found no bigger waste or inefficiency in time than going out and building backlinks. Because when you do that, you run the risk of getting penalties. It's incredibly tacky. It's time consuming. High quality backlinks are pretty expensive. No matter how many times you skyscraper someone and say, hey, I just published this post on this and I think you would really like it. Do you want to link to it? Everybody knows that. Everybody that has a website that is that's getting any kind of traffic, if you've got a website that is worthy of links, you've certainly got hundreds, if not thousands of those outreach emails. You just delete them. Nobody wants to look at them. So I don't focus on backlinks at all. I believe, and I've seen plenty of examples in my own case uses as well, of websites that get a ton of traffic without the backlinks, and it all has to do with community and paid advertisements. All right, so let's jump into this real quick here, and I'm going to go over it, right? I'm going to cover the blog post heading by heading. Not going to read it, but we'll drop in my own anecdotes too. So you get more value out of this video than you will out of, that blog post that you see on my screen right there. I don't know which way to point, right? When it comes to promoting a niche site, right, you can do the backlink building, you do all that outreach stuff. It's not stuff I want to do. You guys already know that. My objective through the Sizz method is to build a community of people interested in the niche, the problem, etc., build an email list, and drive traffic to the site. Now, by doing that, through paid advertisements, you will get the byproduct, which is search engine traffic. I firmly believe that if you post strong content, great content online, we can't eliminate that. If you post great content online on your blog, on your website, and then you send real people to it and then build a community around it, subsequently you will see your search engine rankings elevate. And I've seen this in my own sites, both kind of blog style niche sites, and then also my local service businesses, because I'm primarily a local home service business owner. That's what makes most of my money in my life. So I've seen it work there, right? And what you want to do is prevent the killer of niche sites and other e-businesses, and that is the shady backlinks and shiny object syndrome. All right, so I don't have shady backlinks in the text right here, but shiny object syndrome. So if you've ever started building an authority or niche site, you'll know that there's one big problem. That is when you first start building the site, nothing happens. And it's very frustrating because you don't have any feedback. You don't have anything to do. You don't have anything to review. Just publish content, publish content, publish, publish, publish. Well, when you follow the method and you're actually using paid ads, right? $7,300 a year, $20 a day is how that comes out. But when you're actually using paid ads, you get user engagement, right? So you get that kind of instant gratification that eliminates the shiny object syndrome. It is so much easier for me to focus on it when I've got people liking, commenting, and sharing my content right off the bat, and I see the results and I see them happy with my content, than it is waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting months, okay? So shiny object syndrome kills these projects usually before they get off the ground. Promoting your niche site through paid ads generates real user engagement and feedback quickly. So now you know about kind of where I'm going with this whole thing. Let's break down the steps to actually doing it. Number one, create a Facebook group. Highly engaging, keeps all of your audience captive, right? So now it's no longer like search traffic where, well, you don't have a captive audience. They're just people coming through from the search engine. You're getting them into a Facebook group. So create the Facebook group. Next, create a lead magnet. Take one of your best pieces of content and make it a lead magnet, okay? Now, here's a little shortcut because a lot of people are like, well, now I got to make a PDF or I got to pay someone to design it. And people might not complain about doing it, but they'll put too much time, effort, and money into doing it when all you really need to do is just put the link to it in your email. So when someone opts in to get your lead magnet, right, they opt in to get it, it just sends them an email saying, here we go. We've recently moved this piece online. Go here to check it out. Boom, here's a link to it. So look for one of your most greatest pieces of content, something that everybody likes, something that hits a pain point, something everybody in your niche wants to know about. Take that, make that your lead magnet, okay? Number 3, set up your lead magnet to run as a Facebook ad, okay? And rather than setting up landing pages and using design tools, I just use the simple lead generation ads right in Facebook. They've been highly effective, in most cases more effective than any landing page. Or for example, you can spend 10 minutes setting up a lead ad, and on the flip side, you can spend 10 hours making a landing page. That landing page might just be a hair better than your actual lead ad, right? So here's what the lead ads look like, and then you use the download button there. That triggers the pop-up form for the name, email, capture. So I capture first name and email, at least for these ads. And I don't do anything fancy at this point. You can just see I just take an image that slightly reflects what I'm talking about, and putting it up right here. So they're going to download some type of guide, that has to do with home services because that's the space I'm in, right? So set that up, just a stock image, right? Now, as a rule of thumb, you need to get your opt-ins for less than $1 each, right? So you need to get somebody to come in here and download it for $1 each. Now, I don't address the audience in here. This is going to assume that you've got an audience, but a simple interest-based audience in your target region or your country, so United States, in this case, interested in home improvement is all you need. And I go big audiences on these, right, to get the lowest cost download. Get as many people interested in this stuff as I can and get them in here. There's a million ways you can do it, but in this case, since we're not selling anything here, we just want to get people to download at the lowest cost possible, and that subsequently gets them onto their email list. This has been the most effective way I've found of doing it. All right, so if you can get downloads for less than 50 cents, you're doing great. And it is possible. I do have, for example, this one downloads at about 32 cents. Next up, funnel your leads to your Facebook group. So not only do you get them caught up in your email list here, but after they opt in, you send them to your Facebook group. So now you've got two methods of communication with your audience. And how do you do this? Well, on the lead form, there's a little button where you can put in the link to your Facebook group. Now, what's cool about lead ads, where is it? Right, yeah. What's cool about lead ads is you can put your group link in the button on the completion form or on the completion page. However, if you've tried building a group with Facebook ads, you know that Facebook throws a wrench in the plan as they don't allow links to your group in traditional ads. But when you're doing this lead form, you can put a link right to your group right here in the button. So boom, somebody opts in, they get the download. You'll need ActiveCampaign or something to send that out to them. But then after that, then they get the option to generate your group. And I typically find about 1 out of 3 people, maybe to 1 out of 2, 30 to 50% of people that download will go into your group. So if you're getting $1 email addresses, now it's $3 to get somebody into your Facebook group, right? So that's what we're going for here. So if you're following along, at $15 a day in ad spend and $1 leads, 30 to 50% join rate, you're going to get 4 to 8 real people per day into your Facebook group. Pretty effective way of getting people into the Facebook group and joining the community, right? Number 5, set up Facebook ads to send traffic to your content. Okay? So take some of your best blog posts and just set up an ad targeting landing page views. So we want landing page views to go to your blog post. That's it. Just that audience, of targeted people can be the same audience you're doing for the lead magnet. Send people to it. You want as many people to put their eyes on the content for as little cost as possible, right? What this is going to do is it's going to get real people onto your content, and then that should relay user signals back to Google. I strongly believe that Google is looking at user behavior through multiple signals, probably through Chrome browser they could do, maybe through your Google Analytics, maybe through your Search Console code if you got that on the page, etc. Maybe they can look at it through Facebook and Google Analytics. That would be another way of doing it, right? If Facebook has Google Analytics installed, I'm not sure. Maybe they look at share count. Maybe they look at like count. I don't know what it is, but I've seen a strong correlation between sending real people to the high quality content and then that high quality content going up. So it's like saying, hey Google, we're going to send some real people here. Now watch what they do. And Google's like, oh, wow, they actually liked it. Real people liked it. Let's show this to more real people. That's how I approach this. Spend $5 a day on this campaign. They're easy to create, easy to set up. If you create a new piece of content, maybe go in there and set it up for that. But I really wouldn't update it certainly not more than once a week, but probably not much more than once a month. Only your best pieces of content. I say only your best. That might also be your keyword optimized content that's on your page as well. Finally, share everything with your Facebook group and email. You've got these 2 captive audiences, so everything you do needs to be shared with them. You publish a new blog post, boom, send out an email, boom, post it in your Facebook group. You publish a new video on YouTube, boom, email list, boom, Facebook group. Constantly repeat that process and just keep sending them content. Now, do this consistently for 1 year. Rome wasn't built overnight, and neither will your niche site be. I should say the word site in there. Everything takes time and consistency. That's the hard part. Look at the end game. You follow this method per day. Follow this method at $20 per day, $7,300 over the course of the year. It's a relatively small price to pay for what will conservatively be an email list of 4,300 people and an engaged Facebook group of 1,800 people. You'll have a real community around your site, and you won't have wasted any money on gimmicks or backlinks. Okay. Then you get the byproduct, the organic search traffic growth. Best part, your site will stand the test of time. Personally, I place so much emphasis on a site that will stand the test of time because I see so many crappy sites like this out there for sale. These things are worthless. I'm not in business to make money quick. I'm not in business to jump from shiny object to shiny object. I'm here to do things that stand the test of time. And personally, I recommend everybody take that approach to it. And if you want that approach, the Sizz method is for you. This is exactly what I do. This is exactly what I'm doing on my own site. So on that note, if you guys have any questions or have any feedback, if you think it's great, if you think it sucks, if you think it's just okay, if you think I should elaborate on some more things, go ahead and drop a comment, leave a comment somewhere around this video, or leave a comment in my Facebook group. And of course, be sure to click the subscribe button. That's it for now. Signing off.